All right, fellow teachers and YouTubers, I'm just enjoying the nice hot Texas evenings. It's only about 88 degrees. I'm going to do a few part series video on different ways to save money on food when you're eating, at least during breakfast and lunch. I typically eat definitely all my lunches at school, and I eat most of my breakfasts at school as well. So first part will just be some general tips that we could use to eat cheaply, and then the next video I'm actually going to show my food setup at the classroom. All right, first let's go over how much money can you actually save by bringing your own lunch to work. This doesn't necessarily apply only to teachers, it applies to pretty much every profession. A lot of teachers don't really have many opportunities to actually leave their area for lunch. They may only get a 30-minute lunch. So they have to either buy the school lunch, which we all know is not necessarily the best food, and it actually is a little overpriced compared to what you're making it on your own. How much can you actually save? Here's a few main things that you could see how much less it'll be if you bring it from home. Coffee. You might spend $1.50 to $2.50 per cup, and some could be even more if you want these flavored lattes and whatnot. You can make your own instant coffee at home for 5 cents a cup. If you want to get even slightly fancier coffees, and I'll show you in part 2 of this video how to actually go about grinding your own beans and whatnot, you're still looking at maybe 10 to 15 cents a cup. Okay. So you could easily save $30 to $50 a month on just coffee. Imagine putting $30 a month into your Roth IRA and having it grow at 10%. Makes a lot of difference. Breakfast. So you buy a bagel of cream cheese at one of those bakeries. Could be $1.25 to $3. Buy a pack of bagels in Texas, you could get like 6 of them for about $2. Muffins, egg and cheese sandwiches. One of my coworkers would buy those frozen egg and cheese sandwiches. Not actually the end of the world. They'd be about $1.50 each if you get them from McDonald's or whatever. It could be $2.50 to $4, especially if you get coffee and whatnot. A cup of oatmeal at a coffee or deli could be $2.50 to $4. You could make it, and I'll go over this at some point. One of my go-to breakfasts is oatmeal with soy or almond milk. I'll put some frozen fruit from the mixed frozen berries, flax seeds, and then a little bit of cinnamon. That's pretty much my breakfast. We're looking at maybe a quarter to 33 cents on that breakfast. Lunch. Lunch is again tricky. You can't go out to lunch in many cases. So in a way, that's a good thing for teachers. Other jobs, you might get an hour lunch, and then you have many opportunities to actually leave and go out and spend a lot of money there. You probably know what a lot of these foods cost. Making your own lunches does require extra time and effort. I recommend doing pretty simple meals at home beforehand and do at least 3 servings worth. There are some downsides to bringing lunch. Sometimes it'll be hard to actually have a food set up. As you'll see in a future video, we have a lot of resources to eat our lunch. We got pretty much a full kitchen. I have a fridge, freezer, 2 microwaves, got a crock pot, instant pot, pressure cooker, and we even have a water heater and electric griddle. So I could pretty much cook whatever I want. Oven is the only thing I don't have, but not the end of the world. If you have certain situations, like the break room or your teacher lounge might be pretty flooded when you want to get your lunch going, there's a few things that you could try to do. Nearby park, see if you're on your break and you could eat. Lunch is one of the big ones. You could save at least 100 to 200 or more. Lunch at my school for teachers is $3.25, and I think they're proposing to increase it to $3.50. Even my most extravagant leftover lunches, no more than $2. Excuse me. No more than $2 for a pretty exquisite lunch for me. Most of my lunches go $1 or slightly less. Snacks. Candy bars, granola bars, and chips could add up. If you're able to make your own granola, which actually isn't that hard, eventually I'll probably do a recipe of it. You could save a lot of money there. And thinking of healthy snacks to eat that are relatively affordable: bananas, apples, nuts, peanuts or almonds. That's a very healthy snack, and it's at least half the price for that. Sodas and beverages easily could add up, especially if you drink a Dr. Pepper every day, like a certain teacher I know. But it's okay. Um, Soda not only is not the healthiest for you, but it could easily be, 75 cents a can. Doesn't sound like much, but you do that every day compared to drinking water, be a little bit healthier and a little bit better off. I have a Brita water filter, and I put the with the pitcher in it, just put it in the fridge, and right before I leave school, I'll just fill that up so I have a full pitcher the next day. The final word: you can save up to $2,000 to $4,000 over an entire year just by making your own lunch and thinking of creative ways to go about your lunches. Let's go on the low side and say you save 2,000 for the year compared to going out a lot. I'll just do 25 years at 10%. We're looking at $21,000. Remember, you could easily take out 4% of that. $866 a year you'll have extra in retirement. Divided by 12, and you get $72 a month. It is nothing to sneeze about like I did before. Here's some easy ways to save money on your work food. Obviously, make your lunch. Bring coffee, tea, and other beverages to you, or as you'll see in a future video, make it while you're there. I drink tea all the time. I bought a pound of hibiscus tea at Amazon for, it was about $14, and I drank pretty much a cup of tea almost every day and still have some left. Also, green tea is similar prices. Tap water instead of bottled water, or use a Brita. Brita's not super expensive. Cartridges last, it says 2 months, but I've been going 3 or 4 months and not really noticing it. No impulse buys. That's just general good advice. Comparison shop. This is from the Simple Dollar. He does a lot of frugality and saving money on meals. Some of the cheap meals that he does: sticky rice, vegetables, soy sauce. Really simple stuff here. Bag of those frozen stir fry veggies I have available at all times. You could buy a 5 pound bag at Sam's Club for, I think it's about $7. And that lasts a long time. Black beans or any type of beans with rice. You hear Dave Ramsey talk about rice and beans and rice, and it's true. You can save a lot of money by doing it. And it's also very healthy. If you want to go a little more advanced, you use vegetable broth, add onion and garlic, a little bit of seasonings. Cost per serving 80 cents for a full lunch. Eggs and black bean burritos. It's actually even cheaper. Grilled cheese, tomato soup. Tomato soup you buy in a can is a little bit expensive, but you make it on your own. You do it for a third of the price. Just get a loaf of white bread, a bunch of regular American cheese, not that expensive. Spaghetti homemade marinara. Again, make that at home. It's a lot easier. Just get a big pound of spaghetti for $1. Get a jar of tomato sauce for maybe $2. $3, you're eating at least 5 meals plus food. Ham, white bread, and cornbread, more in the South. Let me quickly go over some of these. Stovetop mac and cheese. The cheese is the most expensive part. Oatmeal and banana, simple stuff. It's good for breakfast. 24-ounce can of steel cut oats will last an insanely long amount of time. You buy that big Quaker box, and I'm probably going to buy one. I'm about to go back to school on Monday, and I'll probably get a big box real soon. That'll last me months. Chickpeas and pasta, simple stuff. Jar sauce too. Lentil stew, love this stuff. Super healthy. Lentils, tomatoes, onions, garlic, maybe dill, some butter or oil. Chili, a lot of different chili recipes. Without meat will be cheaper than with meat. A lot of seasonings, you get healthy food. Hummus, I'll actually make my own hummus in school. A lot of people are wondering what I'm doing. Some of my students are smelling this interesting smell, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just making my own chickpeas right now, and I'm gonna make hummus with it. And they look at me all like, oh, I really want some, even though it's more of an adult meal. Peanut butter and jelly is a go-to lunch that you should have all the ingredients available nearby to, if you ever forget or it's really hectic and kids are needing lunch meat or teachers need lunch meetings, use the PB&Js. Pot roast, a little bit more expensive. Bean burritos, cheap and healthy. Ratatouille, put a lot of different vegetables in, a little bit of tomatoes and rice. Scrambled eggs and toast. Chicken sweet potato fries. And you get the idea, right? Pizza with bagels. Again, buy the 5, 6 pack of bagels at Walmart or a nearby grocery store. They're pretty cheap. Sauces, peppers, onions. Especially if you get sauces on sale. You get the idea there. More to bring from home. Sesame bagel, mozzarella, red pepper, parsley, egg salad, avocado on toast, pizza pinwheels, chicken noodle, peanut butter and bananas on a tortilla, and almond tuna salad. Simple stuff. Here's what I wrote that I do for most of my meals. Dried beans are, I would say, the most nutritious, cheap thing out there. Get the can of the dry, not the can, get the dried beans, soak them overnight before you leave school one night. Just put them in water. And then if you have a slow cooker, you could get a slow cooker for maybe $10 if it's on sale. Just leave it on low, as long as it's safe to do that. You cook rice with the dried beans. Just leave the dried rice with it. Simple salad. If you could make a really simple salad with, say, a head of cabbage, any type of lettuce, and a salad spinner, and then get a rotisserie chicken for $5 at Costco or Sam's. Actually, I heard they actually lose money on those chickens just to get people in the door. It's a simple meal. Mashed pinto beans, put in a tortilla. If you want to go more expensive, put a little Oaxaca or Mexican cheese on it. Arepas, I'll probably make a video of this at some point. You take corn masa, which is really cheap from its flour, add water, mix it up, make little discs that are like tortillas, just a little thicker, about a half inch. You do with coleslaw or beans again. Very cheap and pretty nutritious. Here are foods that are easy to make and you could have for days, especially when you forget lunches. Dried soup mixes, they are more expensive than making your own soup, but it's usually a little cheaper than the canned soups. I'll usually water them down a little bit more so you don't have as much salt in them. But I will have a few of those minestrone soup and chili soup mixes. Bread, peanut butter, jelly, like I said before, have that on hand. I always have a bag of frozen mixed veggies. The carrot, the one that's like carrots, corn, peas, maybe lima beans. Super healthy, super cheap. Boca burger, just in case I get the protein, and beans. I'll eat this meal more than I probably should because I was a little lazy to make my own lunch beforehand, but it's always available. Solid mixed rotisserie chicken, so I mentioned. Have a few fairly cheap frozen TV dinners available just in case. If needed, protein powder. A scoop of protein powder and, say, soy milk has plenty of protein in there. And then if you could get mixed veggies, that's actually a pretty decent meal. And dried rice and beans. Again, those are just some ideas of what to do. This is my grocery list of what I'm going to buy shortly. I buy typical vegetables. Luckily, I have a full fridge that I could use. I do share with other teachers. They don't necessarily use it too much. Apples, bananas, spinach, simple things that I get in the produce aisle that is easily available. Bread, salad, peanut butter, jelly, tahini to make hummus. You can also use peanut butter for that. cranberry juice, lemon juice, and I do use apple cider vinegar. That's one of my go-to morning drinks. I actually have quite a bit of vinegar left, but all you do is you take about 8 ounces of water, put about a tablespoon cranberry juice, a tablespoon of lemon juice, about 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Very healthy to drink and not that expensive. Even if you buy 100% pure cranberry juice at $6 a bottle, the thing will last over a month. It's not that expensive in the end. Always has soy or almond milk available. Sometimes flavored water just to switch it up. I'll use those Crystal Light or packets at times. Just for sauces, that's kind of my splurge. I might get random barbecue sauce, soy sauce, ketchup, something like that. I forgot to mention brown bag with popcorn. I put popcorn question mark because I'm not sure if I have any at work yet. Get the uncooked kernels and a brown paper bag. Literally put one layer of kernels on a brown paper bag. Fold the brown paper bag up a few times. I'll leave it flat and microwave it. The popcorn will work fine. It's really neat and it's really cheap. I'm not sure if I need V vitamins, but I'll get them. Eggs, typically 12 eggs. I don't go crazy there because eggs could go bad after a while. Chickpeas I eat quite a bit. I'm going to need salad dressing. Granola, I might just buy the Quaker Oats, the big jar of steel cut or rolled oats. Or maybe I'll splurge and get granola. Who knows? Frozen peas, frozen fajita vegetables at our grocery store here, HEB. They make frozen red, green bell peppers with onions. I put it in quite a bit of dishes. That with the green sauce or guacamole sauce and beans is actually a pretty good meal. Frozen stir fry. I will get the huge 5 pound bag because I eat that a lot. Ramen just in case. Bouillon or better than bouillon cubes. Better than bouillon is more expensive, but it does make soups and other things taste good. Soy sauce, ketchup, sriracha. Those are my sauces. Put salad twice. Dried vegetables. I've been starting to work with. They are pretty expensive though, but you can make your own soup by just buying the dried vegetables on Amazon or Walmart has some. And then they usually have recipes. You just add a lot of water to it, and a little bit of the bouillon, and you have a vegetable soup there. It is more expensive than making your own. But when I have time, I will make a celery, carrot, onion, other vegetables, put it on better than bouillon, plenty of water, and put that in a slow cooker. It add beans, add tomatoes, and so on. So I know this sounds a little more advanced than what a lot of teachers will actually do for lunch. Some other teachers and students of mine think I'm sometimes a little crazy that I'm making these meals, but I'll do it in my planning time, or I'll, set it up before I leave, like soak the beans beforehand, and then in the end, it's not too much time to actually prep. It might take me 5 to 7 minutes or so to make my lunch at certain days. That's not without going eat pretty reasonable dinners and make leftovers and not mind eating leftovers. A lot of people do mind eating leftovers. I think you can save a lot of money by doubling up eating leftovers. You have a go-to meal there. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. I'll be doing another video on what my actual lunch area looks like and how I'm going to use that to my advantage to save money on food.